What if I told you the idea of XRP reaching $1,000 isn't some wild fantasy, but something you can actually calculate? Not financial advice, but when you line up the numbers, the potential becomes impossible to ignore. Let's walk through it step by step, because this is where the math starts to tell a story most people aren't ready to hear. First, let's look at supply. Unlike Bitcoin's 21 million cap, XRP has a circulating supply of about 55 billion, with the rest in escrow. That number scares people off and they think, too many tokens, price can't move. But they forget the flip side. Supply doesn't matter in isolation. Demand is what matters. If trillions of dollars move through the XRP ledger daily, the value per unit adjusts to handle that flow. Now imagine global settlement. Today, SWIFT moves around $5 trillion per day across borders. That's just banks. Add in remittances, trade finance, tokenized assets, and central bank digital currencies, and you're talking tens of trillions in daily movement. The system we use now is outdated, slow, and expensive. XRP was designed for this exact pain point: speed, scalability, and cost efficiency. Let's do the math. Suppose XRP captured just 10% of SWIFT's $5 trillion daily flow. That's $500 billion per day. If XRP cycles liquidity multiple times daily, which it can, given 3 5-second settlement speeds, you don't need all $500 billion locked. But still, liquidity has to exist in the system. With a circulating supply of 55 billion coins, even capturing a fraction of that flow drives the per token value up drastically. Here is an example. If 10 trillion in daily settlement eventually flows through systems leveraging XRP, and XRP cycles liquidity about 5 times daily, you'd need $2 trillion in XRP liquidity available. Divide that by 55 billion tokens, and you're looking at $36 per coin just to maintain that function. That's baseline math, not speculation. Now take it further. When you add in tokenized real estate stocks, derivatives, and central bank money running on distributed ledger tech, estimates stretch into the hundreds of trillions. BlackRock and the World Economic Forum have openly discussed tokenizing nearly every asset class. If XRP becomes a primary bridge asset, the numbers scale fast. $100, $500, even $1,000 stops looking crazy when trillions of dollars are flowing across it. People always say that's impossible, XRP could never. But think back to Bitcoin when it was under $1. Ethereum was under $1 once too. Markets always underestimate exponential adoption until it hits. XRP's difference is it S not retail hype that will drive it. It asks banks, institutions, and global settlement rails. That's where the power is. There's also the multiplier effect of scarcity in practice. Remember, not all 55 billion tokens are truly available. Ripple still holds a huge portion in escrow. Some are lost forever. Others are locked by long-term holders. Effective circulating supply might be far smaller. When demand collides with reduced effective supply, price moves harder, faster, and higher. So let's push the extreme. Suppose the global tokenized asset market hits $500 trillion by 2030, a number BlackRock suggests. If XRP becomes the neutral bridge for even 10% of that, that's 50 trillion in flow. Divide it by effective circulating supply, and the math spits out numbers in the hundreds per token. Factor in compounding adoption, long-term holding, and exponential growth. And the $1,000 mark, doesn't it sound like a fantasy anymore? It starts looking like a possible future scenario. Of course, nothing is guaranteed. Regulation, adoption speed, and competition all play roles. But if you're looking at raw math and design purpose, XRP is one of the few assets built for this scale. Bitcoin was built as digital gold. Ethereum was built for smart contracts. XRP was built to move money, all the money. And if it succeeds, the price will have to reflect that role. So next time someone laughs at the idea of a 1,000 XRP, remember this: every revolutionary asset was laughed at until it wasn't. The question isn't whether XRP can get there. The question is how fast the world is forced to adopt a better system. This is LTL Productions, breaking down the math behind the dream. If you found this valuable, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. It helps more than you know. And remember, the ledger doesn't lie.